Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Moltrap here, coming at you with another game from the round of 8. It is the quarterfinals, baby. No, really, it's Baby versus Flash. I guess I shouldn't say another because it's actually the first game I've done of the round of 8 since I've been doing the round of 16. And yeah, so Flash is going to be in the top right-hand corner, by the way, just to get the colors out of the way. He's going to be blue, and look at that, drinking some sweat. Swishing it around. Baby is in the top left-hand corner, looking somnambulant in his booth there. Now this is going to be a very, very exciting game. By the way, this is the Korean Air OSL round of 8. This is the quarterfinals. This is considered Group A of the quarterfinals, and I am looking forward to seeing how this goes because Baby is on fire right now. And I only say that again because it's hilarious if you think about that out of context. To think of Baby being on fire. But we're trying to see if Baby is the real thing or if he's just a flash in the pan. Ha! Ha! Oh god, I love puns. No, seriously though, Baby has been beating a lot of really good people lately. He went 2-1 in the MSL group, I believe, and he went 3-0 in his OSL group or something like that. It might have been 2-1 and 3-0 in the others. Yeah, and then he's been doing really well in general. And he kind of reminds me. This match actually kind of reminds me of when Bisu met up with Flash. Actually, early on when Flash was beating a lot of people. And he hasn't quite, played the best yet. And at the time, Bisu was the Bonjour. He was the best. And they played, and Flash ended up cheesing him out of a Star League. And so that was kind of the beginning of his rise to power, I guess. Flash, that is. Anyway, so, but point being, we have Baby, who's been playing really well lately. And look at this. Are they both gonna, oh, yeah. We're seeing, wow. Oh man, okay, never mind, there's the barracks. I thought they were saying that they weren't building any barracks and they were gonna 12 next. Actually, wow, yee-ho-ho! Wow, Baby is going for a 14 command center, or 13 command center, I guess, against Flash. Wow, and Flash, who is famous for getting, when he was first at his peak, he got a little too cocky, and started doing 14 CC against everybody, and ended up losing because people could predict it and they'd just rush him and he'd lose, and he'd always feel like, oh man, what happened there? Because he thought he was so good that, I mean, he was really damn good if he just played a little bit more conservatively. And now that's what Flash does, is he plays a little bit more conservatively and just beats people long term with his just superior macro. And so we see him actually going from 1 racks into command center, which is interesting. So Baby actually out-flashing Flash a little bit here, going for the early CC first. So very interesting. But anyway, so yeah, Baby, he's been playing a lot of good players, he's been beating a lot of good players, and he's on a roll right now. But he has not played the best yet while he's been in this form, and so we're seeing him play against Baby right now. I'm sorry, against Flash right now, who is the best in the game, and I would dare say the best that there has ever been in the game. I think at this moment he's above Jaedong. He's a little bit above Jaedong in skill. Anyway, so Baby has his racks up now as well, and Flash incidentally has placed his command center at the location where it needs to go. So he is actually going to be able to Maynard his SCVs over at almost exactly the same time. So Baby actually didn't technically gain much by going for CC first in the end. Oh, the SCV is not going to get him, barely. Oh, gets picked off as well, but he sees the CC there, so he knows what happened there, although he can't actually be sure if he went 13 CC or if he went racks into CC, because he had racks into CC and he had his own bunker up as well. So yeah, anyway, and a couple factories getting planted down there for Flash. So very, very interesting game this is turning out to be. Both players just going for late game, well, mid game at least, immediately, just getting the expansion up and just going for gold. Anyway. So this is very, very interesting to see. But yeah, I do expect Flash to come out ahead in this, just because, even though Baby has been playing really well lately, he hasn't been really shining, and he hasn't really been owning the crap out of people. He's just been playing really solid and beating really good players. But I mean, it's Flash. It is Flash. Flash's TVT is just so, it's ungodly. It's or maybe it is godly actually. It's just ridiculous. And his style is basically to expand all the time. If you give him a moment's breathing space, he will expand. And even if you don't give him a moment's breathing space, he'll expand and expand and expand and expand, and he just ends up with, you know, other players trying to expand, but they play a little bit more conservatively and they expand a little bit later, and they end up just falling behind. So interestingly, we have Baby putting down a third factory, and Flash, however, has 2 machine shops instead and an armory. So very interesting. I'm curious to see if he's gonna get maybe a I don't know. We'll see what happens. But usually after an FE, you see players go for fast wraiths as well, and so he might be anticipating that Baby's going to go for fast wraiths. Wait, was that 2 armories up there? I missed it because you couldn't really see the building animation there very easily. Oh, it's an academy and an armory. Okay, so yeah, so he is anticipating wraiths basically, and both players anticipating wraiths actually. Both players getting their armory and academy. Neither player actually getting wraiths. It's a common tactic to go for those wraiths right after your fast expand, because you're usually a little bit behind on tech, or on forces rather, and you want to get something out that's going to keep your opponent distracted long enough for your base to get online, for you to actually start making use of that extra money coming in. But in this case, since they both went for almost the same build, it's not going to matter that much. Flash putting down more factories now as well, but he's got those 2 machine shops. I'm surprised not to see them spinning. What that means though is he's putting out a lot of tanks. He's using all of his gas to just put out tanks. And so with 2 machine shops, with 1 gas mine, he can put out 1 to 2 tanks at a time that way. Although he's putting out some Goliaths as well, I believe. So that would explain that. And Baby, whoa! Baby is expanding first. This is crazy. This is crazy. He's got mines out in the field, and this is a really good tactic. Oh, but Comstat is down, so he's going to be able to Comstat and pick off those mines. But if Baby can use those mines to distract Flash, to keep him back a little bit, while he gets his expansion up, that will be really, really good for him, obviously. But that's basically how Flash plays. Baby's trying to outflash Flash. This is ridiculous. That's how Flash plays, is he puts a little bit of pressure on, or a lot of pressure, and he turtles. He uses the advantage of the Terran that you can siege up, and you can use less forces to hold off more forces in a defensive position, and he just expands. And then out macros you, and Baby is actually doing that. He's getting his expansion up first, and I think Flash is aware, but I'm not certain. Whoa! A mine almost goes off on his army. It looks like it did go off on part of his army. Either that, or it was the Goliath was just damaged from these tanks fire. Flash is having to dance his tanks back and forth, trying to avoid these vultures. Baby has a couple tanks of his own. Oh! Flash targets them down. Flash targets down the tanks. Oh, there's that 1 mine. Oh man, if that mine goes off. Oh, he comstats and picks off the mine just in time. But now Baby has some more reinforcements on top of the ramp. He has the high ground, and because this is StarCraft 1, there is a high ground advantage. Now Flash has the vultures coming in with the extra factory, and he's trying to plant mines around the tanks. He might be able to blow up all the tanks. Oh no, where are the SCVs going? SCVs might blow up as well. Siege mode is up. The mine is right next to the SCVs attacking the mine. The SCV saves the... Wow! SCV saves the mine from a tank. I'm sorry, the tank from a mine, and then the Marines save the tank from another mine, and somehow that tank survives! That 1 tank somehow survives all of that. The SCVs were being Maynarded to that 3rd base at just the right moment, and were able to help out in that battle. Or maybe he might have done that intentionally, realizing that he was in trouble, sent those SCVs out there. It was really close to, he almost lost them all to a mine. Now the vultures, though, are coming into this new expansion. He sees it definitely now. He's going to be able to pick off the SCV and basically hold the position outside of Baby's base, and try and make sure that he can't get any SCVs out to that new base. Baby now building a starport, so he might be able to put some Wraith pressure on now that Flash has gone mostly tanks and vultures. He had a couple of Goliaths before, but they died, and now he's mostly tanks and vultures here. So yeah, he's basically setting up a kind of a contain outside Baby's base, and this could be really bad for Baby. He's invested a lot of money in that command center, but it's now lifted, I believe, because of the vultures over there, and he can't Maynard SCVs or get forces down there to reinforce it anyway. But he's got a good tank line on the top ground, on the high ground, so he's not in danger of any major attack right now. 2nd armory going up for Baby. Now look at this. Baby has 67 supply, Flash has 97 supply. So wow, I didn't even realize that it had been that much of a disparity